All right, guys. Well, hey, let's definitely get your notepad out, get your pen and paper out, because whenever I saw this special on stage, we actually got a chance to speak together in Florida a few years ago at an EXP event that we did together. And I had never heard her. I didn't even know really who she was. I knew a little bit about her, that she was just a queen on Instagram, just a powerhouse. And I had the opportunity to speak with her on stage, and I saw her presentation, and I was freaking blown away, absolutely blown away. And then whenever I was doing the maximum experiences, I invited her to be a special guest as well too, so she could share and give back how to dominate social media, how to dominate Instagram. And so let me just kind of introduce her really quick. So guys, bear with me. This is an amazing resume here really quick. So in 2003, Gogo came from Romania to the US with $200 to build her American dream. She started in real estate in 2011. She had no SOI, spheres of influence, no experience, barely spoke any English, and had $6 to her name. That was when she started to build her business organically with the power of social media. Gogo has done $120 million, that's right, $120 million in personal production transaction, is a part of the top 3% realtor in the nation, #1 social media realtor in Michigan, and number 16 social media realtor in the nation. That's right, in the nation. Top 125 most influential people, Success Magazine, known as the social media queen. She has 66,000 followers on Instagram. If you're not following her, definitely follow her. She's the founder of Gogo Real Estate Team. Gogo also has 2 online boot camps, Gogo's Boot Camp and Agent Attraction Boot Camp, which I'm a part of. Also, she is a 2x2 Comma Club award winner. In 2022, Gogo also started her own TV show called Gogopreneur. In November of 2018, Gogo joined eXp Realty, and since then, she has attracted over 1,000 plus agents across the US, Canada, Mexico, France, Brazil, Spain, Colombia. Today, Gogo is part of the 0.02% top influencers at eXp. Wow. So let's give it up for Gogo Bethke. Welcome to the call, Gogo. How you doing? Wow, that's awesome.
That was a mouthful over there.
That was. I love it. I love it. And it's all true. It's all true. And Gogo, you know, I definitely want to just say, first of all, I know you're busy. And guys, I asked her literally for the last 3 or 4 weeks to get on my mastermind. And she is so busy. Her calendar is slammed. You know, she's got family in town. She's traveling. She's doing her own masterminds with her own team. And finally, she said, yes, I can make it this week. And so Gogo, I just wanted to say thanks so much for your patience and carving out an hour of your time out of your Friday to come on and give back, right? Because that's what we're all about. We're all about giving back. And I got to speak with you on stage back in Florida in 2019, and I was just absolutely blown away with your presentation. And then we had you at one of our events in Michigan whenever we were doing the events up there in Michigan before COVID. And I saw your presentation again, and I was just absolutely blown away, guys. So guys, if you want to learn how to become a huge influencer on social media, listen up. This is your mastermind, right? So put your phones aside, get your pen and paper out, take some notes. Gogo, the floor is yours. You've got about 45 minutes or so, and take it from here, guys. This is going to be powerful. I'm so excited to watch this presentation again, because guys, we're here to help you take your business to the next level and get out of your comfort zone and crush social media. So let's give it up for Gogo Bethke.
Thank you, guys. You guys are so nice. I love doing this. I'll come anytime, Pat.
I love it. I know you will.
Thank you so much. So I did a presentation. I feel like times have changed a little bit, especially during COVID. I feel like humans are craving that human element again, because we were apart for so long, right? And we didn't have the opportunity to be in the same room and have that elbow rubbing. So I built my business on people. I mean, the people's business. I say this all the time. You don't need more money. You need more people. People have the money. That's what Coach Bert says all the time. So it's one of my favorite quotes, is that just what I said is, you don't need more money. You need more people. People have the money. So as soon as you realize that you're in a people business and you can figure out what are your ways to get in front of more people, I'm going to show you a few of how I have built my business and businesses. Today, I own 9 different companies. I'm a little bit of an overachiever. During COVID, I opened 4 because I was bored out of my mind and I had nothing else to do. I got a good idea. Let's open a company and build it, right? But today I want to talk about production and production in real estate. And I'm going to take you back a little bit in time to show you the foundation of production, then I believe is the foundation of production. Also, I want you to write this down, that you have what you have because of the mindset that you have, right? And because of the skills and the habits that you have today, right? In order to have something different, you have to change something. So write this down. If nothing changes, nothing changes.
Yep.
Right? The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. So if you don't, let me put it this way. In my first year of real estate, I made a whooping $16,000. Go me, right? Last year, I made 2.9 million.
Woo. Wow.
Okay. Now ask me if the person who made 16,000, the mindset and the knowledge that I hold when I made 16,000, ask me if that was the same mindset and knowledge that I hold today. No. I couldn't even find that person inside of me from 11 years ago. A lot of things have changed. A lot of books I read, a lot of people I surrounded myself with, a lot of events I went to. I mean, I spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on education to make millions. So I want you to have an open mind, because one of the most expensive things you can have in life, the things that's going to cost you the most, is a closed mind. So I want you to at least be open to the idea of something different. Now, you don't have to do it. You don't have to do business with somebody else's ways, but I might have something that you didn't know before. And if it fits into how you want to conduct business, you have to implement what you learn, because that's the only way you're going to get to the next level. You have to know something more than you know today. So are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, so the presentation I'm going to open up, it's actually a 3-hour presentation. So I am going to go through as much as I can in the 45 minutes that I have with you guys. So I talk fast and I talk funny. Anytime you have a question, because I have an accent, anytime you have a question, just stop me. I'd rather explain it right there on the screen while we are on the screen versus having to go back 17 slides. Make sense? You can do it in a couple ways. You can open up your mic. I like to have a good old conversation versus monologuing the whole time. Or you can put your questions into the chat box if you don't feel comfortable or if you don't have a mic. Ready? Do I have the right to share?
Yep, you sure do.
Awesome. Okay. And I do have a question to Ellen, because as he was talking, I opened up my EXP, but I can't see what he's talking about.
Alan, are you still there?
Where those numbers are. So
Man, I'm not in front of it, but it's somewhere in my EXP. It'll show you everything you did last year.
shut the front door,
It's the
Ellen.
best I can do.
Ellen, would you Instagram me later today if you find the button? Because I just spent like 2 minutes in there as you were talking, but I don't see it anywhere. So if you can find it for me and Instagram me later at Gogo's Real Estate, I would appreciate it.
Yeah, I'll send you a screenshot. No problem.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Okay, so let's share my screen. And there we go. So today, the idea, I was a little confused because every Friday morning at 10 a.m. I do an agent attraction mastermind. And I've been doing that for 3 years in a row. So my mind was on agent attraction. So when Pat said production, I was like, oh, I don't know if I know how to do production on Fridays. I do productions on Wednesdays, but let's get started. Can you guys see my screen?
Yep.
Awesome. I'm going to put it on present so we can see it bigger. There we go. So let's talk production, because we all work for money, correct? One of the best best tips that I got from my real estate coach early in my career was this sentence here: never eat alone. So let me ask you this question. Are you going to eat lunch today?
Yes.
Did you eat lunch yesterday?
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to eat lunch tomorrow, next Monday, next Tuesday? You get it, right? The thing is, never eat alone, meaning if you know that you're going to eat lunch today, take your Sundays, so write this down, SSS, Success Systems. I think it's Sunday System for Success, SSS. Every Sunday morning, I want you to sit down with your morning coffee, and I want you to fill your calendar for the following week. Now, if you can't afford lunch, because when you're inviting someone for lunch, right, you should pay. It's just the right thing to do. If you are in a time of your life where you can afford to pay for someone for lunch, then invite them for coffee. Coffee is $5, right? Invite them for a coffee, but then fill your calendar with coffee meetings every single day, Monday to Friday. And these are the type of relationships that you want to form. And these are not sales meetings. I'm not inviting people for coffees to let them know that I'm a realtor and asking them if they have any real estate needs. I don't do that. I'm doing this with the people that, let's say you just met someone at yoga and you're like, oh my gosh, that's kind of pretty cool. I would like to get to know her, right? Invite her for coffee. Then you go have coffee, you get to know her, ask her what she does for a living. Does she have kids? When did they move here? Or is she local? Yada, yada, whatever conversation you want to have. When you ask them about what they do for a living, the conversation automatically gets guided and they ask you the same thing in return. So the fact that you're a realtor is going to come up at some point. Now, as soon as it comes up at some point, I look at everybody as my future client. So now I get to write this off. Because when you do this right, you're going to make more money than you can spend. And also Uncle Sam's going to want his fair share. And you're not going to want Uncle Sam take a big chunk. You want Uncle Sam to take a smaller chunk, right? So you're going to need expenses. But the point of this is that you want to form relationships and you want to truly get to know people. Because when they find something in common with you and they start trusting you and they start following you on social media and they see you and they see your work ethic and you form that personal relationship, you earn their trust. And when you earn their trust, they're never going to use anybody else. I don't buy leads, even to the day today. Like I no longer even live in Michigan. I'm licensed in Michigan. I live in Florida. I have a small team of 2 agents in Michigan. We did 62 transactions last year, $3,000 short of 500,000 GCI. I haven't bought a single lead. I don't have an office. I used to joke and say I have a printer, but I don't even have a printer anymore because the printer is down here with me in Florida, right? So you guys, you get to do this if you form meaningful relationships. I know that nobody's going to take my clients away because my clients are my people and my people will stick with me, right? So I want you to fill your calendar for the next 90 days and every single day you are going to have coffee or lunch or dinner or drinks, whatever you can afford, right? But a face-to-face with someone. And then what you'll see will happen over time is literally I will have lunch with someone and then 2 days later, they're like, oh my gosh, my aunt's moving to town and she has 3 cats and she needs a condo. Can you help her? I'm like, absolutely. What's her phone number? Make an introduction via text and I'll take it from there. Right? You always want to make an introduction because a referred agent versus getting their phone number, right? Because a highly referred agent, it's a much easier close than you trying to hit them up. So instead of asking for that person's phone number, you ask for an introduction via text. So then the person that you just had coffee with, it says, hey, I'm Julie, Gogo is my friend. She's a local rockstar realtor and she can help you with that condo situation that you have going on. Do you mind if she calls you? Right? I'm copied on the same chain text. And I say, hey, Julie, I'm so excited that you're moving to our neck of the woods. When would be a good time for me to call you? It's much different than me calling Julie and be like, hi, Julie, you have a niece. Her name is blah, blah, blah. I know her from blah, blah, blah. She said you're moving to town. It's a totally different conversation, right? Because I just came recommended. So always ask them to recommend you versus asking for their phone number directly. Okay, the next one. This is what I want you guys to have. And I'm not sure if you are able to click. Are you able to click in the screen? Maybe not. Carol, are you on the call with me? I think you
Yes,
are.
I'm here.
Awesome.
We're not able to
Thank
click.
you. Can you put that, can you put this link in there for them? The greatness tracker link?
Yeah, sure. I'll put it
Awesome.
right.
Thank you so much. So this way you guys can download it. So let me walk you through the greatness tracker. I want you to get a clipboard. Again, it takes 90 days, guys, to form a new habit. So I want you to get a clipboard and get this piece of paper. Carol is going to include the link into the chat box. You can directly download it from here. And then I want you to walk around. You're going to staple this to the clipboard, this piece of paper, and you're going to walk around with it for the rest of your life, pretty much, okay? Well, at least for the next 90 days until you create new habits. So let me also click it so I can see it too. Can you guys still see my screen?
Yep.
Awesome. So the idea with the greatness tracker is number one, to form new habits, but number two, to see what you are doing all day. Because many of you might feel like I'm doing this and I'm doing that, and I'm doing this and I'm doing that, and nothing's working, right? First of all, you have to be faced with reality. What are you truly doing? Are you doing money-making activities? Are you doing lead generation activities? Or are you just busy, right? Because we can all get into the habit of being busy. And after you doing this for 7 days, right, and you do it religiously, at the end of the week, you're going to be faced with like, oh, holy shit, I really don't do that much that is work related, right? So number one is face-to-faces. So the face-to-face is anybody that you saw physically, you were face-to-face with them. This could be someone that you run into at church. It could be someone that you run into on a grocery aisle. It could be at school drop-off and pickup. It could be anywhere that you were face-to-face with someone, but real estate came up. It's not just a face-to-face of like, hey, how are you? Have a good day. That's not a face-to-face. Face-to-face is like you standing at school drop-off and you guys are talking and the person asks you, how is real estate? And you respond, how is real estate, right? That's a face-to-face. So I want you to have 3 face-to-faces every single day where real estate came up, okay? The next one is break bread. Break bread, the idea is that you eat with that person. So you're not just face-to-face, you're sitting across the table. This is that quote that I showed you earlier, never eat alone. So I want you to have 2 of these every single day, okay? You can have a coffee and a lunch. You can have a lunch and a dinner, lunch and drinks. Like you get to pick it, right? Like, do you guys go to Panera Bread and you have the pick 2, right? This is your pick 2. You get to pick how you want to break bread. It could be coffee, lunch, snack, appetizers, dinner, whatever you can afford, right? But I want you to break bread with people. And I see you guys downloading the tracker. Okay, so every single day, I want you to have 2, okay? The next one is great phone calls. As you can see, there's 4 lines for that every single day. Now, a great phone call can be a past client that you follow up with. It could be a lead that you just got. It could be the person that you met at the book club and you guys hit it off and you follow up with a phone call, right? But everything I say here, real estate has to come up. If real estate didn't come up in the conversation, it's not considered a great phone call. If real estate didn't come up at break bread, it's not a break bread. If real estate didn't come out at face-to-faces, it's not a face-to-face. Just because you ran into your cousin and you waved at him at the grocery aisle, that is not a face-to-face. He's not reminded that you're a realtor. The idea here is to constantly remind people of who you are and what you do for a living, so they don't have a chance to forget it. Now, I don't hard sell either. So don't get into that. It's like, hey, Alan, I just called you because I need to make 4 calls today. And you are my first phone call. And I need to tell you that I'm a realtor. So if you have any real estate needs, just call me. That's not a great phone call. That's a sales pitch. And nobody wants to be sold. Right? Instead, you can call. Here's another tip. And I don't know if I have that on this presentation, but you guys can email my assistant@gogosrealestate.com. We have what's called a preferred vendor sheet. I think that's what we call it, the preferred vendor. Here's what dawned on me one day. Are you expecting your cousins, your college friends, your best friends, everybody that you know, all your neighbors, are you expecting them to buy and sell with you if they have any real estate needs?
Yes.
Sure do. And I'm offended when I walk down on the street and 2 doors down, my neighbor has a yard sign and it's not mine.
Yep.
Right? So it dawned on me, okay, go. You're expecting them all to work with you, right? As the realtor. Do you know what they do for a living? Are you using them? So when you need a plumber, are you calling your college friend who's a plumber today to support his business and feed his family? Or are you calling Joe Schmo off of Google? Because we all get what we give. So if you are not supporting them, then why on earth would you expect to support you? So I want you to take the preferred vendors list. And I don't know, maybe Carol, if you can reach out to Lindsay. I know Lindsay's not on this call and I don't know if you know how to find it, but Carol is my assistant's assistant and she just recently started with us. So I don't know if you have it, Carol, but if you can find the preferred vendors list from Lindsay, would you please drop it into the chat box? If not, you guys can email us later and we'll email it back to you.
Yes, sure. The pre-friender list.
Yeah, preferred vendors list. Do you have it? Yeah, ask her. Yeah, thank you. So with the idea with that one is start building it out with your friends and family first, right? So you're going to call all of your best friends and all of the close people in your life and say, do you have a side business that is somehow tied to real estate? Do you have a painting company, a dog walking company? Do you have a rubbish remover, a roofing company, a plumber, an electrician, like you name it, anything that you could possibly need in a real estate transaction. And also anything that people can possibly need after they move in, right? You know, those calls of like, hey, go. What is the, we just moved in and we're going on vacation and we need somebody who could watch our dogs. Do you know anyone? Right? Like those type of things that people, we need a cleaner, right? People will need things after they move in. So try to think of all of those things and hit up all of your friends and plug their information into the preferred vendors list. Now, when you're making the great phone calls, right? You might be calling Jessica that you met at book club, right? And say, hey, Jessica, conversation goes well. You chitty chat. It was so nice to meet you yesterday. I would really like to get to know you better and invite you out for coffee, right? So now I'm using a great phone call to fill my pipeline, or for a FaceTime or for a break bread, right? So if Jessica said, yes, oh my gosh, I would love coffee, right? Now I just booked an appointment for break bread because we're going to go for coffee together. Now, in this conversation also, I'm going to remind her, hey, Jessica, I don't know if yesterday, I think I mentioned that I'm a realtor, right? I just wanted to tell you that if there's anything that I can help you with in the meantime, I'm so excited. I'm going to see you Tuesday. But if you have any real estate needs or anybody that you know, what is your email address? I want to send you our preferred vendors list. So now I'm giving you something, right? I'm not asking for anything. I'm giving you my preferred vendors list if you have any real estate needs. And on that preferred vendors list, you're going to find appraisers, inspectors, painters, dog walkers, movers, house cleaners, whatever you could possibly need that is tied to a real estate transaction. So if you have any needs in the future or anybody that you know, just send them that list. I'm more than happy to help them. I've been in the industry for over 10 years. I personally have worked with these people. Not only that they're some of the best here locally, but they also give a discount to our people. So I just wanted to give you that because I truly enjoyed meeting you yesterday. Right? I didn't ask for anything. I gave her something. I asked her out for coffee. Okay. Over time, when you're forming these relationships, when people give you things, do you feel like you owe them? I do. I don't know about you, but now I feel like, oh shit, Pat gave me that. Now I need to make sure when Pat needs something and I have that, I need to give.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the more you give, it's simple. I know we hear it all the time. And sometimes things that we hear, it doesn't register in our brain, but it's truly as simple as the more you give, the more you get, because people are automatically going to feel like they owe you. Okay. So the great phone calls are literally just great phone calls. I would want you to try to figure out something that you can give on that call. The preferred vendors list is what we give. It costs me nothing. And in the meantime, I'm supporting my other friends. So now guess what's going to happen when your friend who's a plumber just got 3 leads from you this month? And you might not even know that those leads are happening because you just gave the preferred vendors list out and they're going to call your cousin, the plumber cousin. You're not even going to know. But now that cousin going to be like, oh my gosh, Gogo just gave me 3 leads this month. Now your plumber cousin is going to really pay attention next time he's at a bonfire or at a house party and he hears somebody is looking to buy or sell a house, right? He's going to be like, guess what? My cousin's a realtor. Let me give you their information. It's Gogo, right? They're going to become your biggest cheerleader. The more you give, the more you get. The next one is with leads. So when you are doing this right, you're going to have plenty of leads. This one little section here actually is not going to be enough for you. But you are going to follow up with the leads from yesterday. Now, if your lead yesterday told you that they're getting pre-approval and it's not going to be ready until next Friday, then skip them today, right? You don't want to annoy them, but every single day you need to follow up with the lead, at least. But you're going to have multiple, so you're going to not be able to fit it into this box eventually. Referral partners. Now, what happened to me, and maybe I had a little bit of a slow processor early on in my career, but for about 3 years, 2.5 to 3 years, I have sent all of my buyer referrals to a lender. I sent him over $9 million worth of transactions in the 2.5 years. And it dawned on me one day, then I realized it was a one-way street. I sent him and I fed his family, but he didn't feed mine. So we had a heart-to-heart. And it didn't go so well for him because he got 2 options. His options were, I'm not asking for anything that I'm not doing for you, but I am asking for, if I'm feeding your family, for you to feed mine. So if I'm sending you $9 million worth of business, then I'm expecting $9 million worth of business in return. And if you can't do that for me, we need to part ways. Okay, because ask yourself this question: the lenders and that you are working with, and the title companies that you are working with, and the other, like the appraisers and the inspectors, right? Do you think they have real estate leads? Do you think an inspector will go out and inspect a home prior to someone listing it on the market? Do you think a lender will get people that they pre-approved that they don't work with an agent yet? They just got pre-approved? Sure shit they do, with my French. So now the question is, that lender that's pre-approving all of those buyers, who are they sending it to? Because my loyalty was to you, but clearly your loyalty wasn't to me. It has to go both ways. If I'm feeding your family, you're feeding mine. It's a very simple expectation, right? So I want you to follow up with your referral partners, but you also have to have good relationships with them, right? So those referral partners are also there to invite them out for coffee, to see, hey, what's new in the market? Do you have any new loans? Like, oh, you got a new doctor's loan? Let's have coffee, let's have lunch, explain me how that works, right? The title company, oh, you guys are giving free quitclaim deeds this month? Okay, let's have lunch, explain me how that works, right? So these referral partners, not only for you to learn what's new on the market, but also to form those relationships to make sure that it goes both ways. And if you already have formed those relationships, and now this conversation that you and me just had right now just dawned on you that you have a one-way street, that phone call is not going to be, hey, let's have lunch. It might be, hey, let's have lunch because we have something that we need to talk about, right? You have to make sure that you surround yourself with people that are willing to feed your family, and they're not just, what are those animals that when you swim in the water, they leeches?
Yep.
You don't want a leech in your life that just
Powerful.
sucks the blood out of you.
No way.
You want someone that gives back. Okay. The next one is past clients. So when you're doing, if you're a brand new agent, you can skip this portion for a while until you have past clients. But when you have past clients, what I want you to get into the habit of doing now, as you're closing transaction, Raul, I'm going to give you an idea. Okay. As you are closing transaction, as you're going to close your first buyer, when you close them, I want you to put a reminder in your phone to call them the following year on the same day, and put the reminder on reoccurring. So if you are closing, let's say the mid-April, right? April 15th, right? You're going to set an April 15th reminder for Jessica Smith for the rest of your life. And you're going to call Jessica Smith every single April 15th. And you're going to remind Jessica, hey, Jessica, congratulations. I don't know if you remember, but we closed a year ago on April 15th. How is the house treating you? Is there anything else I can do for you? Let me send you, by the way, in your email, because I already have her email, right? Because she closed it me a year ago, and I set it on automatic. And now I'll say in your email, you have our preferred vendors list. So if the house needs to be painted, if you need a plumber, if you need an electrician, I'm just calling you to congratulate you on your first year anniversary, but go back and check your email because the preferred vendors list is already in there. And if the house needs anything, these are the companies that we have used in the past, and we trust them and we recommend them, right? I didn't ask for business. I just called you, congratulated you on the 1 year anniversary, which, did you know this? But 3 years from the time that people bought their houses, 80% of them don't remember the realtor's name. They won't remember your name. And if they don't remember your name, how could they possibly call you when they have real estate needs? And why do you think they don't remember the average realtor's name? Because they don't follow up, because they're on to the next commission. If you keep working for the next commission, you are going to be fighting for the next commission for the rest of your life. If you are going to take great care of your clients, you will never have to worry where your transactions are coming from. Those 62 deals, guys, that we did last year, I don't even live in the state. I haven't met a single client. I haven't bought a single lead. I have zero expense on that side of my business. And we did 500,000 GCI off of my work ethic and my reputation. It's free. You just have to set reminders in your phone. You have to grab it, and you have to be good with people. The next one is current clients, right? So now that you followed up with your referral partners and your past clients, you are going to get on call with current clients. Now, this one, usually I use it in that awkward period. So you know how the real estate transaction goes on the buy side. You're going to be face-to-face all the time. You're going to go see houses, going to go see houses, going to go see houses. Then you're going to make an offer, and we're going to talk for 3 hours, and we're going to figure out the details to the offer. And then we're going to negotiate it, and we're going to talk every day 10 times while we're negotiating. And then we're going to do the inspection, and then we're going to sit at the inspection for 4 hours. We're going to hang out with Starbucks. And then it's crickets for 2 weeks because it's the appraisal period, right? So I usually use the current client section in the appraisal period, because that's the time where it's like we go from talking all the time to not talking for like 2 weeks, and then I call you to schedule the closing, right? Is that awkward period. So I usually use the current client section in that period just to kind of catch up and just usually explain, is everything okay?
Yeah.
Okay. And I usually explain, I'm like, hey, this is that appraisal awkward period. I really don't need to call you for anything because we're just sitting and waiting on the appraisal, but I was just calling to follow up if you guys have any needs in the meantime. right? This, it might be the time when I send them the preferred vendors list again. By the way, every time we get a new client, we send them the preferred vendors list in the very first email. Because during the transaction, they're asking you constantly, oh gosh, we need a moving company. Do you have a moving company? Oh, go, we need to home insurance. Do you have a home insurance company? Right? It's like, it's just constant, never ends. So instead of me having to answer the same questions over and over again, in the very first email, when we are communicating with them, we say, save this email and download this preferred vendors list, because anything you need during the process, our preferred vendors are already on the list. All you need to do is just go to this list, choose whoever you want to work with. Which reminds me, do you remember what we learned in real estate? What can we not do as realtors? Can you refer one lender or should you refer three?
Three lenders.
Who can tell me what that's called? What is it called if you only refer one? What is it?
Steering.
Steering. Good job. It is steering, and we are not allowed to steer, right? So when you're doing the preferred vendors list, you want to make sure you have at least 3 of everything. Okay, because now they chose that person. So if something goes south and you only put one plumber on there and that plumber gets sued for whatever reason, and you refer that one plumber, guess who gets sued in the meantime? You too. And you don't want that, right? So now that you refer 3 plumbers and they chose one, that is removed off of you because I can't take responsibility. You chose that plumber, right? So you want to make sure in each section, and when you're doing your preferred vendors list, you have at least 3. You should have more, but you have at least 3. Okay. The next one is social media posts. Now, this document, when I got it 11 years ago, right? Social media post wasn't on there. I added that on there. That's important to me because that's how I built my business. Okay. So social media, I want you to make at least minimum of 1 post a day, but ideally 2 posts a day. And some of you are like, what the heck am I going to post about? Right? So who has that question? What the heck I'm going to post about? Somebody raise your hand.
Somebody speak up. Who wants to play? Role play.
All of you feel very comfortable posting on social media?
No need more ideas.
Okay, so who wants to play with me?
I'll play. This is Joanna Brown in Austin.
Hi, Joanna. Okay, so do you have the, when I say post twice a day, did you have the question in your head of like, what the heck I'm going to post twice about in a day?
I always have that question.
Okay, so let's play a game, okay? So tell me about your day today. What are you doing today?
My day today, I have a meeting right after this with someone who I'm going to refer a client to, and then I'm going to drop something off at a client that is going to be selling.
So I'm gonna stop you at the first one very quick. So you're gonna refer a client to someone, right?
Mhm.
Where are you located and where are they located?
I'm in Austin. The client is moving to Albuquerque, so it's another EXP agent in Albuquerque that we're just gonna have a quick conversation about the client before they connect.
Okay. Do you like referrals?
I have a lot of referrals.
I mean, do you like to collect referral commissions where you don't have to work for it and somebody else works for it and you collect a nice 25% chunk?
Yes.
I do too. So here's your first post for the day. You say, hey guys, actually, I don't know when was the last time that I reminded you that I can be your agent no matter location. Yes, I'm located in Austin, but today I'm actually referring a friend of mine who's moving to Albuquerque to another agent. This way I can stay involved. I can help my friend negotiating. I can help market. I can stay involved, but I'm not the agent. I'm not legs on the ground. If you needed the reminder, then I can help you absolutely anywhere. This is your reminder. Here's my phone number. Just call me.
Perfect.
Okay. The next one, you go on with your day. You're dropping off what?
I have a client that's a senior that she's getting ready to declutter her house, and I recommended someone for her to do that. And I also have my downsizing real estate designation. So she says, oh, I have some pots for you. Can you come by and get them? So it's just another touch. Okay.
So here's your other post. You just said that you have a downsizing certification. I didn't even know that such a thing existed. So you are one step ahead of me. Okay. So you are going to make another post in the afternoon. You're going to take a selfie with your elderly client when you are in the home. And you're going to say, this afternoon, I stopped by at what's her name's house, right? Because she's thinking about selling her home in the near future. I'm helping her declutter it and downsize it. Friendly reminder, I have my downsizing certification, which means blah, 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 blah. I can help you with blah, 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 blah. Here's my phone number. Just call me.
Perfect.
right?
Instagram and going to Facebook too?
Yes, you can do it whatever platform you want. The only difference with Instagram, you cannot post a link, right? So if your post requires a link, like let's say you're doing an event and you say, oh my gosh, I would like to invite you. You can do that on LinkedIn. You can do that on Facebook. You can do it on Instagram because you can post a link into your post. So on Instagram, you can share your post into your story, and in your story, you can show the link.
Okay.
Right.
Thank you.
So you can just kind of play with those platforms and you will find which one you love most. Like my home social media is Instagram. That's where I always post. But from there, it's fed everywhere else. But I have virtual assistants who do that.
Perfect.
So I only make one post a day. I make it on Instagram. They take that post and they plaster it everywhere for me. LinkedIn, TikTok, YouTube, you name it. I'm just not the one doing it. The only post I make in a day is on Instagram, and they take the information from there and feed it.
I love that. Thank you.
Thank you for playing with me. I just wanted you guys to see it in action. You all have life happening, and I don't want to hear the excuse, yeah, I don't have time, or I don't know how to do it, and I don't have the systems and the thing. Do you have one of these?
Yep.
Oh, awesome. So you have everything that it takes to have a social media presence. It's in your back pocket. You're just too lazy to take it out of your back pocket and make a post. It's just an excuse, right? And it's like, but I don't know how to use it. Well, I wasn't born with a special SOP either. No, God wasn't like, oh, go, I'm going to give her some. And in case you don't know what an SOP is, it's a standard operating procedure, like a step-by-step instruction of how to do something. I didn't get that either. Nobody gets it. You know how it works? You go on that platform and like an annoying 5-year-old, you're going to push every button. And then when you push it, you're going to see what happens when you push it. You're like, oh, when I push this, a thing pops up and I can put a link in it. Oh, that must be where I put my link. Try it. Put a link in there. See what happens. Guess what? It doesn't bite. It doesn't yell at you. It doesn't talk back. It doesn't do anything, right? The only thing you can do is every day with your morning coffee, wake up and push another button and get one button smarter. Nobody gets a special instructions for any of the social media platforms. It requires time. You can learn it from others though faster than you can learn it on your own. So you can watch others on YouTube and all of those things. But if you have an excuse why you don't have a social media presence, it's truly just an excuse. Everybody can do it, okay? The next one is events. Now I want you to have events or do events or go to events, but in the end of the day, in the end of each week, I want you to have gone to at least 6 events.
Hey, Gogo, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but we had a question on the chat. Tracy asked, what was the with leads for?
Okay, what was, let me see if I can say Google up to license comments, earnest money. Where's the question?
Number 5.
Okay, let me see if I can, all the way back, number 5? Oh,
Just
what was
on
number
this-
5?
On the sheet.
Oh, I got it. Okay, what is number 5? Okay, let me go up there.
I missed that somehow.
The face-to-face, oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 referral partners. What is your question?
The one
With
that
leads?
says with leads.
Oh, with leads. You call your leads. The ones that you got yesterday, you follow up with them today.
Okay.
Got it? Yeah. Or if they told you yesterday that they are getting pre-approved and they're not going to have the pre-approval until Tuesday, you're going to put them down for Tuesday next week to follow up with. Make sense? Yeah. Eventually, that's the part that I was saying. Eventually, that one little box is not going to be enough for how many follow-up lead calls you're going to have to make today. Okay. The next one is hours prospect. So events. I want you to show your face to events. I want you to start with 6 events a week. So every single day. If you are in a part of your career where you're saying that you don't have enough leads, that's because you're not busy enough. It's truly that simple. Show me your calendar. I will show you your bank account. It's that simple. So at first, I want you to do 6 events. Eventually, if you go to 6 events and you're going to get too many clients, you're not going to have the time to go to the events, and you're not going to have the time to have enough time for the client. So eventually, what I want you to do is do everything, never half-ass anything, by the way, do everything full force. And then a month from now, we look at your last 4 weeks and we are going to see, I did 6 events and I only got 1 client, but I made 4 phone calls and I got 2 clients. Where do you think you should spend your time? And phone calls, right? So you're going to see where your greatness lies. This is why this is called the greatness tracker, because we are all different, right? I have skills that you don't, and you have skills that I don't. If you put me on a call, if I had to do real estate on cold calling, guess who would be taking a night shift at Taco Bell? This one. because I could never. I have a chip on my shoulder. I have an attitude. I cannot beg people for their businesses. I always knew, even when I never sold the house, I knew they're lucky they get to work with me. For me to learn a script, for me to be forced to say something that I don't freaking feel like saying, it would never work for me. Not even for a commission, right? So this is why I want you to try everything to see where your greatness lies. Because the saying, write this down. If you love what you do, you never work a day in your life. I don't work. I get to do this. I don't have to do this. I get to do this. Magic word, get to. Okay. So this report, when you are done and you look back 12 weeks from now, and you look back, you will see where your greatness lies. And you're going to spend the rest of your life in those categories. You're going to have 2 or 3 categories that you're really good at. And that's where your leads are going to come from for the rest of your life. Okay. The next one is hours prospected, right? I want you in the end of the week to have 21 hours prospected. Now, all of these things that we just did above, those are all prospecting. So you're going to see if I made 1 social media post, it took me 10 minutes. And I did 2 social media posts, it took me 20 minutes. So I'm going to write down 20 minutes for hours prospected. Then I'm go up in this next section and I'm going to go current clients. And I said, oh, I called 3 of them. I talked to each of them 5 minutes. That's 15 minutes. I'm going to write down 15 minutes, right? So in the end of the day, you're going to revisit this and you're going to put down hours prospected, but you want to get to 21 hours in a week. Okay. The next one is thank you cards. Raise your hand if you love receiving handwritten notes. Somebody took the time of the day, right? We all do, but we don't do it. Why don't we do it? Like we love receiving it. Jessica, I'll get you to just 1 second, right? So I want you in the end of the day. So number 1, go on Etsy, go on Vistaprint, go on whatever you want to go to and order 100 thank you cards. Is going to be like, I don't know, $13, something like that. You can also personalize it, right? And put your own logo on it. So I have one that says thank you, Gogo's real estate logo, right? So I want you to personalize it. Again, it's a tax write-off, plus it's marketing. Okay, so I want you to go on any of the platforms and personalize a thank you card and order 100 or 200 or 300, right? In the end of the day, when you get home or the next morning, however you want to do it, you're going to look at this column, right? Today's column. You had, in the end of the day, you had 3 face-to-faces and 2 break breaths. So you had 5 appointments, so said, that was with another human face-to-face. At least 1 or 2 out of that must have been a really good appointment, or they might shared something very personable with you, or they might brought you a gift, right? So you are going to send those 1 or 2 a thank you card. And you're just going to say, I truly enjoyed getting to know you, Jessica. When I met you at the book club, I did like you, but now today I like you even more. I'm looking forward to seeing you again. You're awesome, right? Just something that really, truly you enjoyed. Now, also, if you haven't noticed yet, I can't say anything but the truth. So if I didn't necessarily like their company, then guess who's not getting the thank you card? I can't lie. And the other reason why is because I don't want that person in my life. So I'm not going to fake it, because then I'm going to have to work with you, and not even for a commission anymore do I work with people that I don't enjoy. So write this down. Brand Gove says, I am looking for the people who are looking for me. And I only want to work with people who automatically want to work with me, because those are my people. Now, in the past, for a commission, I used to look at people and be like, for $12,000, I'll be your best friend for 90 days. 15 grand, best friend. You love U of M? I love U of M. You voted for Trump? I voted for Trump. You voted for the other? I voted for the other. I'll be who you want me to be for a commission. Not anymore. When you do this right, you only get to work with your people, and you never have to work with an asshole for a commission again. So if I didn't like their company, they are not getting a thank you card, because I don't want to fake it, because I don't want you to find your way back into my life. I could barely get out of that appointment in the first place. Right? And the next one is leads. So now you're going to look at all of these great conversations, all of these great face-to-faces today. And in the end of the day, you're going to say, oh, you know what? That lender sent me a pre-approved buyer, and Jessica sent me her aunt. So that's 2 leads, right? And lead is something that may not ever turn into a client, but it has the potential, right? They have some sort of real estate need. They might not need it today. They might need it 6 months from now when her aunt is moving from Colorado to Michigan. I don't know why anybody would do that, but sometimes they do. Okay. So you're going to write it down. In the end of the week, you want to have 10 leads. okay? Now let's say that you have a 30% closing rate. You're not even average, you're less than average. You're gonna close 3 out of 10, that's the goal. So if you do all this right, you're gonna have 10 leads in the end of the week. And if you close as little as a 30% closing rate, you're gonna have 3 closings, 3 deals. And you're gonna walk around. I literally used to have, now I used to print this one on a legal size paper, and I had a legal sized clipboard because I'm an overachiever and I had a lot of names that I needed to write down. And a lot of leads, right? So the regular size was too small for me. So I printed it on legal. It's up to you. But I want you to take this with you for the next 90 days. Everywhere you, I mean, this thing lived on my hip for 90 days. Eventually, when you look back, you are going to see where your greatness lies, and you're only going to spend the time in that section where your greatness lies. Okay? So eventually, you're not going to have to do all of these things. The idea is to find out where is your greatness. And the idea is to retrain your brain to do all of the things that needs to get done. Also, the idea with this one, to see the loopholes, to see where you are not spending your time, where you think you are, but you're not. It's going to show you, you're going to be faced with reality in the end of the week, every single week. And then you can adjust it.
Powerful, Gogo. That was fire. Wow. That was good stuff. I love this. Guys, who's ready to do this? Who's ready? I'm going to do it.
Me.
Ready.
I am for
A
sure.
lot of you on this call, you guys reach out to me every single week looking for leads. Guys, she is telling you how to get free leads. You heard her. She hasn't bought a lead in years, ever.
I never bought one. Never.
Never, ever. Guys.
I don't even run ads. I mean, you guys see my ads, but when you see my ads, it's for my boot camp, which is a totally different company. It's not for real estate. It's for boot camp for agent attraction, or boot camp for social media marketing, right? I never run ads for real estate leads. I never bought Zillow leads or Realtor.com or any of those leads. All of my transactions that I personally done and that my team does today are all organic.
That's huge. Powerful.
Yeah.
Powerful.
And this is like the very first slide of my presentation.
I love it. No, I love it. I know. And I know this presentation is a 3-hour presentation. I know we don't have 3 hours. We could, because I've seen your presentation and it's absolutely amazing. You know, you definitely drop a lot of nuggets and a lot of bombs. It's absolutely amazing though. But almost at the top of the hour, this is definitely being recorded, guys. I know you guys took notes. I was sitting there looking at you, scrolling through the pictures here, and it looks like you guys are definitely in this and taking notes and you know, definitely ready to grow your business. We had her on, right? I've been getting a lot of people reaching out to me saying, hey, I need my KV course set up. I need to do open houses. I need this, I need that. I was like, you know what? This is a perfect time for Gogo to come in and share her story, her success, how she's been able to build her business up with free leads, right? A lot of agents are complaining in the market right now. They're trying to stay in the market. They're trying to not have to go get a job. They're trying to stay in real estate. They're like, I can't afford my dues. I can't afford this. Guys, this is a way to stay in the market, stay in your business, grow your business for free, right? Go implement this, right? How bad do you want it? How bad do you want this, right? Gogo's got an amazing story, right? I love hearing her story. It gets me motivated. I love it. Guys, you need this, right? You need this motivation.
I mean, I didn't speak English, guys, until I was 21 years old.
Wow.
I moved to this country by myself. I borrowed $200 and moved to a continent that I didn't know a single human being, nor did I speak the language. And then I decided 7 years later, so I came in 2003, and then in 2011-ish, I decided to get a real estate license and work in sales. What a great idea. My real name, watch this. Watch this. Don't you all just want to buy a house from me? Let me show you my real name. Let's see if I can do the letters that they are actually spelled. Okay, that is my real name.
Wow.
Oh,
Don't you just want to see that on a yard sign and be like, oh my gosh, I want to call her and say what? Like, how,
Yep.
Is that a man? Is that a what? Is that a name? Is that her name?
Yeah.
Right? So I literally had and it's pronounced Junjvir. I literally had everything going against me, guys. I have no college education. I have no sales experience. I barely spoke the language. My name was impossible to pronounce. I had zero sphere of influence. You at least have a freaking cousin.
yeah.
I have no one. Even to this day, I have no one that's related to me by blood, and I lived here for 20 years on this continent, besides my own 2 children who I've created.
Yep.
So I don't want to hear it.
Yep. That's right. And yeah, and I love to hear the story too. Whenever we were speaking on stage in Florida, that's whenever you actually retired your husband from corporate America. I remember that.
Oh, really? So that was October 3rd. It was the exact day. I remember it was in Arizona.
Yes. Oh, was it in Arizona? Okay. Okay.
That was in Arizona at the Fazios event. And
Okay.
I
Yes.
got a call from my husband, and he says, I just told my boss that I have an eye problem. And I was like, why? What's wrong with your eye? And he goes, no, I just said, I don't see myself working for you anymore.
Yes, I love it.
And he walked out on the door, and we did that with rev share. I told my husband, as soon as my rev share replaces your salary, there's no point for you to be chasing the 9 to 5. They tell you what to wear, where to go, how high to jump, right? So October 3rd of 2019, he quit his corporate America job.
Yep, I remember that.
That's right. That was in Arizona. I remember now. Thanks for that reminder.
Yes, absolutely.
So guys, this presentation was 3 hours long. It is recorded. The full-blown presentation is recorded. If you would like to get it, it is on. Let me just, I think I can share the link very quick. Hold on.
Yep, go ahead.
If you go to gogosevents.com, if you go to gogosevents.com, let me share my screen. It's going to take you to this website. If you can see mine, you want to go to the past events, and under the past events, you will see the Master Your Production in 2023. You can get the full presentation. I mean, this presentation is like 40 slides, I think, and I got through the first 2 with you guys.
It's okay. It was all good stuff.
And then the other one, I have one coming up. I don't know if you guys are interested about agent attraction. But I think I've done very well with agent attraction. I brought over 240 agents personally to my front line, and then my husband's front line, right? So if you guys want to learn anything that I know about agent attraction, I'm doing an event on March 8th. It's an online Zoom call just like this. So if you would like to partake in that one, the link is under the upcoming events on the same place. So you just go to Gogo's events and you can find both in there. And every time I do these, guys, I do one a month. One a month of these bigger couple-hour, 2-3 hour presentations. March 8th is agent attraction, but the following month in April, I am talking about team building. How I built my team, how I structured it, what are the contracts, how we do the meetings, what is expected of them, how they get paid, how I get paid, pretty much everything on the team side of things, and that's going to be in the following month. So if you're interested in what I'm doing and all of my coachings, you can always go to Gogo's events, check those out, and what's upcoming. I always do one a month.
Love it. Love it. Well, Gogo, we're at the top of the hour. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it. You're so inspiring. I love it. I just love your story, and you know, I love your passion and your energy. And so does everybody else. My phone's blowing up saying, "Hey, great presentation today. That really was. You crushed it."
Thank
and
you.
Whenever I get the recording from Ian, I'll definitely send it to you so you can share it with your team as well too. But guys, I hope you enjoyed it. I loved it. It was so much fun. Go out there and use that greatness tracker, right? Go explode your business. Go free leads, right? Go get free leads, right? So don't be calling me saying, "Hey, I need more leads. I need more leads." Go, I'm going to tell you, "Hey, I'm going to send you the video and say, hey, watch this again. Watch this again. Watch this again." Guys, that was powerful. Gogo, thank you so much. You're a blessing to everybody. Thanks for everything that you're doing to EXP and with EXP and to all the agents and everything. Thanks for being a good friend, and thanks for your time again today on the Mastermind. And have a great weekend. God bless. Love you guys. And
Thank you so
go out
much
there
for
and crush
having
it.
me. Go get them.
Absolutely.
Bye,
Thanks, Gogo.